Hey guys, welcome to Project 66 Part 10. I actually didn't even think there was going to be this many parts. I thought 9 was going to end it, but I got a couple things to do yet. So the first thing is I'm going to look to see if I can get this pushed in a little bit more. Because it hits the side curtain here. You can kind of see it if you look this way. It sticks out. Let's try from above once. Right here. It's just enough to hit the side curtain. So I'm going to use this level here to kind of get a gauge. See, right now it's hitting. It's just barely hitting. If I could get in like even an 1/8 inch, it would be good. So I did get a comment in the last video that I should reverse these. So I'm going to play around with it and see if I can find a way that that'll work. Alright, so if I could get this in this far, it just pushes the steering wheel up. If it was in this far, then you come in with the... There's room there. It won't hit. Okay, so it looks like these are the same as far as they're the same part. So don't appear to me like there's a left and a right. So what we would need, we need it in as far as it goes. So I had it like this, right? So to reverse it, I would need it like this. But it doesn't give you the angle that you need. It doesn't sit in here decent. And the same with the bottom one. The bottom one would be like this if it was reversed. And look at the angle of it. No, it's not. Just isn't right. So I don't really think I'm going to gain anything that way, because I have to pretty much have them the way that they were, looks like this. So what else do I have to do on here? You know, that last video was shot in spring, so it's now going on spring of the next year. Looks like the wires are pretty much where they should be. They're clipped in here. And they come around, go down the tube, and then, oh, it needs some clips here yet. It needs a clip here and back here. But I believe I got junk everywhere. I think I did this one. Yeah, this one I got one here. So that one should stay put. And that one is good. So this side I got done, the other side I did not. I think I ended up cutting some. Alright, another thing I need to do is get the decals on here. And I would recommend having the front panel on, because how would it look if you did something like this? Put it on and all of a sudden you put your curtain on and look, you could have an Oliver old crop. So I'll probably put a mark here. I'm thinking about 2 inches from the top. Something like that. And I'll probably mark where the panel is here. I think where that is located. It's slightly in, but that's okay. Alright, so one thing I gotta do too, I noticed the governor should be adjusted on here. I think there's supposed to be 19 coils between this clip and this clip. And there's 20 here. 10, 20. Isn't it cool that I can count to 20? It is cool. But let's see, I'm pretty sure that it really runs fast after like the 4th notch. It just goes nuts. So let's say it needs a carb adjustment. And a governor adjustment. And it really hasn't been adjusted probably since I got it together. Okay, so let's look at how it does here. So here's notch 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there it goes, huh? Yeah, I took the diode off now. I can put it on a different tractor. I can make another one. Well, this guy hasn't run in a while. What's another thing I have to do to finish it up too? But I would like to use this guy on cutting some wood. So that could be the next video. I don't know. Put him on the trailer. So if I'm gonna adjust that, I'm gonna have to take the air cleaner off. Unfortunately, but that's not the hardest thing to do. I don't really know why that was off. Because I know that if you increase that, move this tighter, it'll pull harder. And it'll make the engine rev more on the top end. But you want to keep it where it should be, so things don't go wrong, right? I actually shot a video on the Industrial 66, how to adjust the governor, but I didn't like how it turned out. It wasn't distinct enough as far as showing the adjustments and the difference it makes. So that video is probably gonna just get scrapped. Okay, so everything wants to be stubborn. Now is pretty much gonna be the time I can check to see if this is gonna be adjusted right here. Now would be the time. So let's do that. I think I'll move this first and then I'll adjust it. So I gotta take this guy out of here. So that way I can get this moved. And the door's gonna have to be shut because it's getting cold. Now I can get this guy out of here. I should be able to. Okay, let's bring him over here. Okay, so we're gonna need 19, so I gotta move it up. It's just a hole, it ain't threaded. That's what the nut is for. Okay, so we're gonna put it one more towards the front of the engine. And then this one too. So now let's count. 10. There's our 19. Let's check it over here. $19. I was able to count that without taking my shoes off. I always tell people I can count to, if I take off I use my fingers and take off my shoes and pull my pants down, I can count to 20 and a half. So we're gonna throw this guy back in here. Then this will basically be done. So you gotta pull against the spring and drop the screw. Make sure you drop the screw at least once, because that's fun. And you can tighten this back up. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Let's throw him back on and then do a dry run of the governor replacement. So now I have that good. I'm going to take the top rod out. And hopefully you have this adjusted or cleaned up so you can adjust it. And this is right from the operator's manual. I'll set him there. I'm going to put this at wide open throttle. So up here, it's going to go as far down as it goes. Now this should be when the carb is wide open, which is that way. This way is idle. Idle screws right here. You see the idle screw here. So this way back is wide open. And it is not where it's supposed to be. So I must not have adjusted this. I must have just put it together. So I need to loosen that nut right there. Doesn't want to turn by itself. Is that surprising? That end can't turn, it's in the carb, and I'm holding this end, so it's just getting the nut loose so that I can go in a little bit more with it. I think one more turn. And bottomed out, of course. And that happened, of course. Alright, now you see where it's at. It's just past the hole. I think it's supposed to be a 16th past when this is back all the way. Therefore, it is going to be holding this back a little bit. Like that. Against the spring pressure. So that's probably going to be pretty good there. I'm going to put it on here and then try it. Alright, let's try her again. Let's see how it'll do. Maybe I screwed it up, huh? Okay, now it's 1, 2, 3, a little bit of change. 4, 5. I feel like that's pretty good, but the wide open seems fast, but without a tack, I don't really know. This here should be good. That's pretty much how you set that. It's more of a matter of the high speed now. And if the high speed is like really far off, you might have to adjust those linkages in there. Those guys. So let's see if I can get this a little bit better. I think the wide open is gonna have to be down a little bit. I'm only going by ear, so that's gonna be pretty much to the end of it then. And maybe it won't take that much. Okay, it could be in the placement of I really don't think I need to adjust this at all. I think it's in this placement here of the throttle on the throttle shaft itself. So let me monkey with that a little bit. Okay, I got this guy shoved in a little bit more. I want to check the parts book here, and it shows that, well, I had it on the right page, but moving over here, the wind blew it. The old ones had this bushing, and then the new one is this with a ball, and it's number 22 is these little brackets, and it is showing that there's 2 of them required, which means they're the same. So it's not like there's a left and a right or something, or a top and bottom. Yeah, and I couldn't figure out any other way. What I did is I pushed this, put this down here. It's still not perfect. It's still probably gonna hit. See, it is touching the level a little bit. I moved this one up and I was able to go in a little bit. As I showed, you could maybe put it over here, but you do have to have a spacer here then to space that out. You could put it here, and then maybe you could push it in more. I don't know. Because see, it doesn't line up. You got this, the casting here of the clutch housing. It's not up here. And that's where it was riding. You could see the wear mark. But I did get it in a little bit further by pushing it up here and in. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do there. I haven't decided. I'm not finding my instruction manual that I had for doing these governors, so I will use the old footage. Okay, so right from the book, to adjust the governor linkage, remove the air cleaner, loosen the rod and locking nut on the governor to carb rod, which is what I just showed you, and place the governor control lever at the bottom of the governor control quadrant, which is your throttle on your dash. Remove the governor to carb rod from the governor operating lever, then turn the governor to carburetor rod in or out of the rod and until the rod is 1/16 inch forward of the top hole in the governor operating lever when the carb throttle is in the wide open position. Okay, so next I'm going to try adjusting the governor with these guys. And the light is acting weird in the camera. This could be moved up one hole. I could try that, or it's going to be moving it on the throttle shaft here. So I'm going to see if I can get it closer anyway. Okay, so here's the connector for this alternator. And it goes into, this is a Mitsubishi or Hitachi alternator. So it's smaller, it'll clear the side panel. And here's a connector for it. It just goes in like that. Pretty straightforward. What I don't like about it, the black one's gonna go in this yellow, and then if I get a diode made, I'll go on the red one here. But I don't like how this is 10 gauge, I believe, from the wiring harness, and then this one's smaller. It's a lighter gauge. I'm not a fan of that because I feel like it'll get too hot. So one thing I can do is, I was thinking about knocking this out. There's a little lip on here that holds it in right here. So I was thinking about replacing the wire in the connector with bigger ones. I don't know if I can get this off and reuse it. Otherwise, I was trying to use like one of these, and I cut the coating off of it. And it'll go in there fine. But it doesn't have the lip on it to, I don't know, it'll go in there and hold. It doesn't have a lip on it to hold it from coming out. And I don't want it coming out either. See, it'll come out like that. Whereas this one's got a lip. And it'll stay in. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with that. Maybe I should just try around it and see if it's heavy enough. But I would think maybe it'd be fine if you weren't running the lights. I don't know. There's got to be a reason why they ran 10 gauge on that. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm either going to... The hardware store might have something like that. Or I'll try and get that connector off of this wire and put a bigger one on. I think the connector will handle it fine, just not the wire. I don't know, maybe it would. Alright, so here's what I did. I loosened this guy here. I loosened him. Which that allows the throttle shaft to basically freewheel on that linkage there. So then I put this all the way up like this. Actually, I had it down a few. And then I moved this back a little bit and then tightened it. So now what I'm getting, I moved it back this way. So now what I'm getting is it went the other way, kind of the other extreme. Let's see here. That actually doesn't seem bad. Now this should still be set. That should hopefully be still good. Let's see. Let's take this off. And then go to wide open. And there should be a 1/16 more. Yep, looks good. So it seems like once you got that adjusted, you can monkey with that back part. And it should be fine. So I think I'm gonna go with that. I can always move it a little bit. I'm gonna tighten this up, put cotter pins in, make sure everything's tight here. I gotta tighten that nut up there. And then I think that'll do it. Alright, kind of an okay video for you today. Wasn't the best, but at least I'm getting some progress on this. So basically, adjusting the governor, that's pretty much how you got to do it. And the governor, if you're wondering what the governor does, it's basically an automatic throttle setting. You can have your throttle on half throttle up here, and the governor in here will do everything for you. It'll adjust your carb lever here. So when you go up a hill, it'll give you a little bit more. And if you find a tough spot with your implement or whatever, or you're on PTO, whatever you happen to be doing, it'll automatically give you more throttle and then go back when the load's not there. Otherwise, it'd be like a motorcycle or a car with a manual clutch. You know, you can stall it out. You get to a hill, if you don't give it more throttle yourself, it'll stall. So it's doing it automatically for you. And small engines like this, or little lawnmowers, they have them too, like push lawnmowers and stuff. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Thinking the next one, I'm going to keep going this a little bit, kind of get this tidied up here, and I want to use this to haul wood with it.